Have you ever stopped to think about how something as commonplace as a packet of instant noodles, that lifesaver for dinner, a late-night snack, or a rushed lunch, carries within it a history of invention, science, and industry that spans continents and decades? Imagine with me a simple packet of instant noodles, so fragile, so ordinary in appearance, being the result of one of the most ingenious industrial processes ever developed. Today, we're going to dive deep into this journey. We're going to learn what happens behind the cameras, the ovens, and the automatic conveyor belts, all so that in a few minutes, you have a hot and delicious meal. And I guarantee you, the story is much more fascinating than you imagine. Sit down, take a deep breath, and follow this journey with your senses open and your mind curious. Can you imagine an entire country rebuilding after a war, with empty stomachs, trying to find enough food for millions of people? Well, it was in this scenario, post-World War II Japan, that one of the greatest gastronomic revolutions of the 20th century was born. Back in 1958, a man named Momofuku Ando looked around and saw hunger, scarcity, and hardship. But he also saw opportunity. He thought, what if there was a food that was cheap, nutritious, easy to prepare, durable, practical, and that saved millions of meals? It was an ambitious dream, but Ando didn't shy away from challenges. He wanted more than just food. He wanted to give dignity, mobility, and peace of mind. Inspired by traditional quick-frying techniques, like tempura, Ando developed a revolutionary method, pre-cooking the noodles, then drying them, creating a porous structure, capable of instantly reabsorbing hot water. Thus was born the world's first instant noodles, named chicken ramen, a simple dish, modest in appearance, but with the power to change the eating habits of millions of people. The success was meteoric. In 1965, the product arrived in Brazil, brought by Miojo Foods. And with it, a new name entered the popular vocabulary, Miojo. The Japanese word, meaning bright star, has become synonymous with practicality, economy, and speed. In Brazil, making instant noodles has become synonymous with a quick meal, and this habit has caught on strongly. Today, when someone thinks of instant noodles, they immediately imagine that elastic texture, the flavor of the seasoning, and the smell of hot water in the pot. But what transformed this initial idea into a global routine, with billions of servings consumed every year, was the mastery of an astonishingly efficient industrial process, and it is precisely this process that we are going to unravel now. Let's start with the basics. What makes up instant noodles? It seems simple, almost prosaic. Wheat flour, water, salt. But there is a special, almost magical ingredient, kansui, an alkaline water of Japanese traditionally used in the preparation of ramen. This kansui is responsible for giving the noodles the texture that everyone knows, elastic, firm, with that slightly yellowish tone, and resistant enough not to fall apart during cooking. Without it, instant noodles would just be another ordinary, bland pasta, lacking that secret ingredient. Now imagine all of that mixed together, not haphazardly, but inside enormous industrial mixers. They don't work by feeling. There's millimeter precision, exact quantities, controlled dosages, standardized mixtures. The factory becomes almost a laboratory. Each batch must come out with the same flavor, the same texture, no room for variation. When the mixture reaches the ideal point, it goes to cylinders that knead the dough repeatedly. At this stage, the gluten begins to develop. The dough gains elasticity, resistance, coherence, but it's not enough. Then comes the resting, or aging. For about 30 to 45 minutes, the dough rests. This interval is not a delay, it's essential. It is during this time that the ingredients integrate deeply, that the gluten organizes itself properly, which will guarantee the firmness of the pasta after cooking. It's as if the dough breathes, matures, gaining a soul. After resting, the dough moves on to one of the most impressive moments of the process, lamination. It is shaped by giant cylinders that repeatedly flatten and stretch it until it reaches less than 1 meter in thickness. The dough, once thick and heavy, becomes thin, delicate, almost translucent. And then comes the artistic touch. Industrial cutters create the strands of pasta, but not smooth strands. That's where the design comes in. those undulations that you recognize from afar. Toothed rollers compress the dough alternately, generating the wavy shape that we know so well. You might think, oh, but that's just an aesthetic detail. Far from it. The ripples increase the surface area of the pasta, and that means two things. It absorbs more seasoning and cooks faster. The texture becomes more interesting, the flavor spreads evenly, and the cooking, which in traditional pasta could take minutes longer, becomes a matter of seconds when in hot water. After that, the strands are grouped and shaped into the traditional rectangular shape, that flat package that ends up on supermarket shelves. This shape facilitates transport, stacking, and storage, and it also reduces wasted space. Every millimeter counts when you produce millions of packages a day. Now comes the secret behind the instantaneity. The freshly cut blocks of pasta enter long conveyor belts that take them to steam tunnels. There, for about 1 to 2 minutes, they are exposed to steam at almost 100 Oc, enough time and temperature to partially pre-cook the strands. This process, called starch gelatinization, is essential. It transforms the texture of the dough, gives firmness to the strands, but without cooking them completely. The result, pasta that, when immersed in hot water, rehydrates quickly and is ready in a few minutes. But the cycle doesn't stop there. After steaming, the blocks are still moist, too fragile for storage, so we need to remove the water almost completely. And the industry offers two possibilities for this. The most traditional, and perhaps the most iconic, is quick frying. The blocks are immersed in vegetable oil, heated to about 150 OC for 1 to 2 minutes. Frying creates millions of micro bubbles inside the dough, tiny pores that, on your stove, become responsible for absorbing hot water like a sponge. Result, the texture you know, with that softness inside and slight crispness outside when freshly cooked. But with the advancement of technology and changes in consumption habits, an alternative has emerged: hot air drying. No oil, no frying. The blocks pass through tunnels where heated air gradually removes moisture. It takes longer, but the end result pleases those seeking less fat, a more neutral flavor, and a lighter meal. Whatever the method, the goal is the same: to reduce moisture to between 3 and 5%. This ensures that the instant noodles last safely, without special preservation, for up to 12 months. It is this drying, this care, that transforms a perishable food into a global product, ready to be stored, transported, and kept in a pantry, while the noodles are being cooked, dehydrated, cut, and packaged. In another area of the factory, something equally important happens: the creation of the seasoning. This small sachet hidden inside the instant noodle package is the soul of the flavor. On industrial scales, with surgical precision, ingredients such as salt, sugar, monosodium, glutamate, meat or chicken extracts, aromatic oils, spices, dehydrated onions or garlic are measured. Each flavor, chicken, beef, vegetables, shrimp, whatever, corresponds to an exact formula. Mixtures are homogeneous, standardized, so that each package delivers the same experience. No errors, no luck. Some versions even include a second sachet with seasoned oil to give that extra touch of aroma and intense flavor. A detail that at first glance may seem small, but that makes all the difference in taste. Once ready, the sachets are sealed and taken to the final line, packaging. Ultra-fast. Machines combine the block of pasta, the sachets, and seal everything in resistant plastic packaging, which protects the contents against moisture, light, and contamination. Package by package, well packaged. And when I say fast machines, it's not a metaphor. Some factories can package more than 500 packages per minute. Yes, almost 10 packages per second, 600 packages in 1 minute. The scale and efficiency are as impressive as the chemical processes involved. But it's not all just about the machine. Before leaving the factory, each batch goes through rigorous quality control. Technicians test the cooking time, whether it will really be ready in 3 minutes. Check the texture of the noodles, the flavor of the seasoning, and even the resistance of the packaging. Only the approved packages continue their journey towards the markets, the shelves, the kitchens of millions of people. When you buy a packet of instant noodles and take it home, You might not imagine the amount of engineering involved, but think about how radical it is. From simple ingredients, a dough, steam, oil or hot air, cutting, packaging, all digitally controlled, running in machine, cadence, with surgical precision. And in just a few minutes in the pan, you can transform all of that into a hot, comforting, quick meal. A meal capable of rescuing those who arrive tired after work, those who are in a hurry, those who live in a rush, without sacrificing comfort. Instant noodles have become a symbol of practicality, and behind them are decades of innovation, cultural adaptations, and global eating habits. They are present in student homes, shared houses, truck cabs, fishing boats, student bedrooms, bachelor apartments, campsites, and travel backpacks. It has united young kitchen novices, working mothers who cook too much, students with no time, and busy families. It's a safe haven when the stove is out of gas, the refrigerator is empty, or simply when you can't wait. And all this thanks to a process that combines tradition, such as the use of kansui, science, gelatinization, dehydration, humidity control, engineering, automatic lines, packaging, ultra-fast packaging, and above all, vision. And if you enjoyed this journey through the world of instant noodles, subscribe to the channel right now. There are many curious stories, behind-the-scenes factory glimpses, and incredible processes coming soon. Don't miss it! And of course, leave a like and share with those who always have instant noodles in their pantry. Until the next video.